was pretty satisfied with how this looked, the proportions and how it looked, and with her sitting on it. So as you recall, I put a circle at the end and a circle here. Even though I'm not going to see it, it's covered, I need to have it there just as a guide. So I think I decided here to start making the curve. So you make an X and find the center, and then I make a V. It's the V that's going to give me an oval rather than a circle. So a little bit different than our usual way of using this diagram, but it will give me an oval. There. And I look at my reference picture and see how much space do I have from here to here, and how much does that take up. And it actually sticks out past this more solid upholstered area, and keeping an eye on how much space I have down below for my foot. So that will be approximately here, and it's has lots of lovely little curves as well, and a little wheel. So I'll just do a gesture of it, and then when I ink it in, I can smooth out that whole look. And when you do your inking in, you should be looking at your reference as well. Don't ever stop really looking at your references. So this is a very short distance, but I'd really like to see, I'd really like to see where that begins. So when I do this, I'm going to leave a little space between her. I could easily put her more toward the end, but then she might look as if she's falling off. So I like where she's sitting in terms of my sofa, but I don't like my chaise, but I don't really like how short, not seeing this. I really don't like not seeing this. So this arm at the back, that arm at the back, I'd like to see where it starts. Okay, now I'm going to use the height of the back, this height back here, to give me the height of this. So I've got to use my vanishing point to bring that over. Oops. You've got to really slow down and keep your eye on what it is you're doing, because it can so easily go the wrong way. So I've got to go all the way back this time to the back wall, because this chaise is right against the wall. When it comes to figuring out the back, I took the height of the back, the very back, as you recall, the height of the back is up there. I brought that to the side because I need it to be that tall at the side this time. So I want also to see this. I want to see where that begins. So I've maybe made it a little closer to the center than it truly is, but I like where she's positioned, so I don't want to move her. So the back, I have to make a curve so that the back is curved. So I'm going to start it here, but then I'm going to go back. Now this may take several tries until you get the right box to make the right curve for the back, because this is the back here, but I have to leave a thickness for the back. It was easy in the quick sketch, but now I've really got to work this out. So this arm, I might just leave that and get a curve here so I know how to curve the rest of it. So I'll do the same thing I did at the other end and try to get approximately the same size. I might go, I just have a feeling if I don't go a little bit into this space, it's not going to work. So I'll just go a little bit into there. And it's okay to sketch it and then use your ruler later, but I'm going to try to do this about the same size as the other one. So I'll make the X. And I've got now the center, same center as the other one. And I need a V. So to get an oval shaped arc, I need a V. So I go from the center and make a V, and then I divide it into 3 parts. For a circle, you need an X, but for an oval, you need a V. Okay, now if I have an oval back here that I can rely on to tell me what this roundness should look like for the back to wrap around, that's going to help a lot. So at the back here, because the back comes from here and here, that's the back, because I had to bring the back that was at the back against the wall to the side, because it's going to be at the side. So now I've got this at the back here, and I've got to wrap the back around this. So I have to make a curve that would contain the thickness of this, the thickness of the back. If I know where the middle is, there's the middle of the back. See how those squares help? There's the middle of the back. So I bring my arc, so I bring this out to here. Bring this around. So it's going to come out a little bit wider too, because the arm does. So now I've managed to make an arc for the back that touches the back and comes forward. So there's the center. So too big, a little smaller. This is a hidden line. It's underneath the arm, but it shows how deep the arm is on the other side of the sofa, on the other side of the chaise. So this I was wrong. This I've got better. And this is a tea cushion. So the cushion comes along, and then this arm comes inside it so that this sticks out, you see. It makes a little bit of a T, the head of a T. And then I've got an arm that comes up. So it comes up. I'm going to take some of that curve away, so that stuff from behind away. And then it comes forward, and I'm using the sort of perspective lines that I can see. So I was thinking about all of this stuff while I was doing that quick sketch. I'm going to take that arc away because it's not helping, it's making things difficult for me to see. So I've got my tea cushion. I've got this part of the arm that's sticking up. I've got this. If I use my vanishing point, I know that I'll see the inside of this. Then I'm going to go this way. It goes this way. And it rolls. So it has a thickness, it rolls. Then it breaks so that the arm can go the other way. And I've got this curve. I know how this is curving inside. So that's helping me to keep that in mind, that it's curving. And then right at the front of this, there's that. So this helped me to transition up to this. And it sticks out of the back. So now, again, drawing a lot from life, I have an idea of how this would look in my mind's eye. It doesn't look exactly like this one. It's a little bit different, in a little bit different spot. But I have an idea. So, even yet another more moving argument for drawing from life as much as you can. Just draw whatever's in front of you. Try to see and match the angles that you see. There's the back coming down. This is coming down. It'll go around. I'm also using other things. I had that curve there to try and help me, but other things I can use are how much space is here and here, how much space is here and here, relative to everything else. So I have to make sure I get those things pretty correct. So this takes a lot of time. This is not fast. This takes a while to get what you're trying to get. So give yourself a lot of time to do this, because there's a top plane on this. This actually sticks out quite a lot. So you see how much thinking you have to do, comparing and thinking you have to do to get something that's reasonably like what it is you're looking at. And you have to keep asking yourself, does it look like that? Does it have that same proportions? I was too big here. Now I have to go up. Go a little bit like this. It's like an arm that kind of fits segment by segment into the rest. And I thought I was high enough, but I think this is really quite high. So the button goes in there. And of course, it's not meant to look like an insect like this. It's supposed to all, seamlessly fit together. So I'll have to somehow get it to. But I'm comparing angles now. That angle looks like that angle. I've got my tea cushion. And have I got enough space here, or should this come in more acutely? I think I could go down a little lower on this. So I've got enough room here. And you're probably thinking like I'm thinking right now, my quick sketch was more convincing. But you'll remember your quick sketch had lots and lots of lines. This one we're trying to keep a minimum of lines so we get the best understanding of what we're seeing here. I think this should go a little higher. can make the whole top of it a little fuller too. That might help. And then I've got this cushion that's fatly sitting here. So that covers some of my weak points. And my legs, so I've got this leg. Try to keep it symmetrical with the other one. Remember, your job here is to keep your eye on symmetry and getting the right angles. If something isn't, like soft furnishings, you really got to be careful like this to get them. And then the actual details are just smaller shapes. So this tufting, remember, I wanted to see this. I don't know if that was the best idea, but I don't have to count how many of these there are. I just have to get them to resemble that. I like that cushion's a little fatter. So if you have to take your time and really examine curves, and if you've been working on it for a while and it's still you're not happy with it, leave it for a time and go to something else. So I have to get her in, so I might as well go in. And remember with her that you're just trying to we don't need to know who she is. We just need to know what she's doing and the sort of person that she represents. So every time you draw her, if you can simplify her some more, you do have to put, if they're sitting, you have to put inside lines because she'll look like a sausage. So you want to be careful. Now, on my other drawing, I had her with the book on her lap, but I think I might just put her in here like this. This might be the best idea. And so that when I outlined her in black, now if you had trouble drawing her in the first place and you would rather just outline her in black when the time comes, then don't outline her in pencil on this. But if you want to make some alterations to her, or leave, maybe she's wearing this jewelry and you'd rather she didn't have it on, then you could try it here in pencil first and see if that's truly was a good idea or whether you do need it. And this will help as well when we're looking at the chaise, whether it's believable or not, because having her sitting on it will help with that decision. Now, when you're dealing with ovals and ellipses, there's a certain amount of the boxes that we started out with that's going to be lost. So that means I get to see more of my draperies here. And more of the window frame. I should be doing that with the ruler, and more of what's behind it. More of this.